Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Food, Wine, and Travel Show, where we go across country and travel the world with members of the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association. Let's go. So welcome, everyone. As many of you know, that every second Tuesday, second Friday, and third Monday, we get to chat with members of the International Food, Wine, and Travel Writers Association. And today we are going to Cayuga, New York. And last year, Noah Howard from Tour Cayuga was on the show. You can go to their website, tourcayuga.com. He was on the show talking about Harriet Tubman, a lot of women's history, and the historic sites. And he gave us an overview of the area to explore. So I'm excited to have him back on the show today. I do want to say, I think everyone should go back and listen to that first episode, because with America's 250 this year, America celebrating its 250th birthday, I think that episode really goes with our history of the country. So I'm going to link that in the episode notes just because I think so. So welcome back, Noah. How are you?
Thank you, Lisa. I'm doing great. And we often call ourselves our county seat right here where I am in the center of Cayuga County is Auburn, New York. And it is often referred to as history's hometown for the reasons that we discussed in our last podcast. But it's the kind of place where you come for the Finger Lakes scenery, the wine, the history, the outdoor experiences, but you got to make sure to make room in the itinerary for the restaurants, the cafes, and all the great food experiences we have here in the county.
So warning, this episode may, give us an extra few pounds, but it's going to taste
It might
good,
make your
right?
stomach grumble a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm having one of those days. Everyone's talking food and wine today, and I'm like, where's mine? I want
Yeah.
wine. I think by the time we're done recording, I'm allowed to have wine. I don't,
Oh, definitely. It'll be wine 30 right at the end of the podcast.
it will
Sure.
be, right? It'll hit that sweet spot. So wine is a big deal, and it is part of America's makeup is the story of food. And I think what's beautiful about your area and going through your website too, you've done such an amazing job of having these little mini videos from the different restaurants, and it's really not just the food, but it's the story of the people who create the food and the wonderful beverages. So, and you have a sweet treat trail.
Yes, we have a sweet
See?
treat trail it's 26 locations this year. It's a
Wow.
self-guided itinerary. Yeah, all kinds of bakers. And what I like about the Sweet Tree Trail is it's really like a snapshot of where a lot of the proprietors are in their business arc. Because many of the people who later find success with a brick and mortar storefront, they start on the Sweet Tree Trail.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's it. So everyone, you've got to go to the website for that. But before we get into all the food, let's talk about libations, because
Sure.
Finger Lakes is really well known, but they've been getting some extra coverage, right? That I've heard
Yes,
of.
actually, yeah. Wine Explorer magazine last year named for 2026, because they name it the year before. The Finger Lakes is their wine region of the year. So we are reveling in that. We have a bunch of wine writers and journalists coming here this summer and fall to experience the several wineries and vineyards that we have here on the eastern shores of Cayuga Lake.
Cayuga. See, I'm never going to get it right properly.
No, that's fine. People say, even in the county, people say it many different ways.
Well, the best way is to go there, and then you'll get it.
Yeah,
I'm learning
absolutely.
French from Louisiana, so it
There
may
you
not be
go.
the right French for when you go to France, but they'll understand a little bit. But
Sure.
so when you think about this wine, this is Finger Lakes very well known. When you look at Cayuga
You got it.
County, I'm getting there. How many wineries are we visiting, and what are we looking at in regards to the type of varietals that are produced in your region?
We have I think 15 wineries and vineyards here in the county.
Wow.
Most of them are on the Finger Lakes, but we also have to the north. What makes Cayuga County very unique is that we both have freshwater Finger Lakes and one of the Great Lakes, which is Lake Ontario here in New York. On in the north shore of the county, we have the Lake Ontario Wine Trail, and in the Finger Lakes area, we have the Cayuga Wine Trail.
Okay. So you've got a wine trail. So do you get like a little passport book or a map? Tell us how you've got trails. You've got the Sweet Treat Trail. Now we've got wine trail. So how does that work? Do you just go off on a self-guided adventure, or do you
Yeah.
have any services that take people around?
We do not have any services officially.
Okay.
A few tour companies here operating in the county will do
Okay.
tours for small groups, but most of it is self-guided.
Okay.
I like to think that, if you're going out for a tour of the wineries, I think 2 stops a day is really good. That way you're not racing to do anything. And after all, it is wine. You want to
It's
soak it in.
wine is about slowing down and enjoying and
Exactly.
experiencing.
Yes.
Are the wineries kind of small, like boutique wineries, or do you have really big production? Like,
I would say it's about 50-50.
okay,
And the large ones are not super large like some of the operations you might see in France or California. But we do have some of the larger vineyards here,
mm,
and they also feature dine-in restaurants
wow.
with celebrity chefs and everything where you can eat right at the winery. And about I would say about a third of them offer food also.
Mm. Now I know we're in spring. May is a beautiful time of year, and then
Yeah.
summer, of course, is awesome. Fall colors exceptional, right?
Oh,
When
absolutely.
winter's still a good wine tasting time. I think it's important. It warms you up a little.
Yeah.
Are these wineries open in the winter season?
They are open in the winter season. They have the same offerings they have all year round. It's really just about a difference in scenery, which, although it's cold outside, the views in the winter are beautiful in their own right. I feel the winter and summer are great times to visit the wineries, but really in the Finger Lakes, the most beautiful experiences are in the fall. And much like the scenery that you'll see in my background or your background, right when it begins to turn, it's very beautiful.
Mm.
They also grow a lot of hops here in the Finger Lakes. And when you're driving around that time of year, the trucks that
Mm.
harvest the hops, they shred the leaves up before they put them in the truck. And when they are driving them to be processed, oftentimes they luft into the air or fall off the truck, and it's like they're like little snowflakes catching the sunlight in the air. It's very beautiful.
Oh, so does that mean you have breweries too?
Oh, yes, we have many
Oh,
breweries
good.
here. Yeah, we have award-winning breweries right in Cayuga County. A couple of note are in the city of Auburn is a very famous one, Prison City Brewing.
Mm.
And then out in the rural acres of the county, we have Aurora Brewing Company, which is one of my absolute favorites. And that one is located really in the center of the winery and vineyards district of southern Cayuga County, right on the lake.
Okay, so wine and beer. Anybody doing distilled spirits here? I thought I might as well go for all of it, you know?
We do have one of note that's really nice. They're called Cellar and Folly Whiskey Company,
Mm.
and they are just opening a new location right on Main Street in Auburn, and they're actually opening next week, and we're really excited about that. They make their own whiskeys, and an incredible experience. The mixology going on there is it's some real alchemy happening.
Okay, so we're libated,
We're
basically.
libated here. You can get
We're
libated
happy
very
and
easily.
libated with beautiful views. Do you ever get to meet the brewer or the winemaker, when you go on, out and do the tastings? Does that ever happen, especially maybe in winter when it's slowing down or?
Absolutely. Well, I have a little bit of an extra in because I do work for the tourism office and I have met many of the proprietors and the winemakers, but anybody has access. And the thing about it is the passion here. A lot of these owners and makers are there on premise day after day
Mm-hmm.
and very approachable. Oftentimes, they will approach the customers and the visitors themselves. Yeah, if you want to hear the biography right from the source, they're willing to share, very
That's cool.
hospitable.
Well, a lot of wineries do events too, like winemaker dinners and things like that. So that might be
Absolutely. I
a
went to
way.
one, we have a beautiful winery with lake views called Quarry Ridge, and they invited me
Mm.
to a 5-course tasting about a month ago, right as winter was kind of melting away. We still had a couple patches of snow on the ground, but
Mm.
you could tell the new season was right around the corner. And their winemaker Andrew, he really treated us to a full uh, flavor tour of all the
Mm.
offerings that you would find here in the Finger Lakes and in Cayuga County.
Well, I know a lot of times wineries will partner with local chefs too and local
Yes,
farmers. They all
absolutely.
work together, which
Hmm.
is fun to go to those kinds of events.
Yeah.
You're getting it's like a two for one, everybody. Double picture show with flavor.
Yes. And a lot of these locations make for just beautiful wedding venues, and you don't have to be getting married to enjoy a location and an environment like that. The ambiance here is beautiful.
But you can crash the wedding.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Yeah,
Just crash it. It's all good.
sure, sure.
Well, okay, so all of this winery, wine tasting, brew, where are we sleeping? Because we need to, get some rest in between so we can be strong for the next day of tasting. So, what are the lodgings like? Are any of them out in the countryside and near the wineries?
Yes, absolutely. The most famous one would be the Aurora, sorry, the Inns of Aurora
Mm.
Resort and Spa, which is consistently in the Condé Nast Traveler top 20, often top 10 spas in the world.
Oh,
So, yes, they're
well,
very famous.
excuse us.
Yes, there was a woman, her name is Pleasant Rowland, and she was the originator. Some people might be familiar with the American Doll brand for
Mm.
little girls, and she really took Aurora under her wing in a philanthropy sense, and she was the main benefactor to the Inns of Aurora, which is a
Mm.
beautiful collection of historic homes and inns that are the village of Aurora really is the campus of the Inns of
Okay.
Aurora. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, that's cool. So talk about, I know we're recording this during tourism week, but that's a cool story for
Yeah,
tourism.
it's absolutely
It is tourism month now. So
it's
there you
absolutely a cool story. We
go.
have four wine writers, international wine writers, members of IFWTWA that are going to be visiting us in the fall, and they will be staying at the Inns of Aurora right
Nice.
in Aurora. They're very
Nice.
excited about that. And one of the dining experiences there that's really interesting is a location called Aurora Cooks, Cooks with an
Mm.
exclamation point.
Oh,
And it's one of those chef's counter dining experiences.
oh, cool.
Yes, Chef Lou Risotto Donato is an amazing chef. She's has experience all around the country, California, East Coast, West Coast, and she really she really cooks as much as she entertains. And it's just
That's
that
fun.
counter chef experience. She's going to treat you to a five-piece or five-course prefix meal,
Oh,
and it's a wonderful experience. If you're visiting Aurora, I would suggest making a reservation at Aurora Cooks.
cool. That's cool. You know,
Mhm.
uh, talking about food and drink, you know, people travel for that. Do you see that happening in your region that it's like when we look at the tourism makeup and we look at sustainable tourism, and to me, sustainable is that we're working with our environment and being sustainable that if we do it correctly and responsibly, that we're still there the next day. So sustainability means a little bit of, it means a lot to me as a traveler that we're going to these places and actually connecting with the people too. And I think through what I've experienced through your website, and it just looks like people are going to have that intimate experience and have like a little bit of an appreciation getting the story of the mom and pops, like you were talking about with the Sweet Treat Trail and
Absolutely.
going to the wineries and hearing these stories that it is kind of this it is a sustainable thing. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's working together and I don't know about the environment part. Are they working environmentally friendly? Probably. Way.
Absolutely. Most of our establishments pride themselves on their environmental stewardship here in the county. It's a big part of the heart and soul of what drives a lot of these venues and these restaurants. We have several authentic farm to table experiences here where you are actually having your meal on the farm in the farmhouse.
Wow.
Yes, we have one place called Little Yard Farm where you dine right in the greenhouse. They call them greenhouse gatherings. And
Cool.
Yeah, the farmer is the chef. Chef Laura treats you to a five-course meal right there on the farm. You get to go around and see the gardens and the animals, and then yeah,
I
visit the
hope they have
greenhouse.
goats. They
Oh,
better
they
have
definitely
goats.
have goats. Good cheese is being made. Yeah,
See, but that's what I mean about sustainability is where people are working together because the wines are going to be local, right? So it's
hmm
work together and then also be sustainable to the earth where it's part of what makes a destination because we don't want to be served something from 2,000 miles away. We want to be served something that comes from Cayuga County, if I said that correct.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The term food scene is overused sometimes, but Cayuga County has an absolutely authentic food scene.
Mhm. You
Um,
even have bagels.
Oh, yes, we have Auburn Bagel Company right in the center of Auburn, New York. The chef Tony Dodabo cut his teeth in the Upper West Side of Manhattan, where he worked for many years at Columbia Bagel Company, one of the most
Hmm.
famous in the city, and took that story and that recipe and that method back home because he is originally from Auburn. Opened Auburn Bagels 2 years ago. They just celebrated their second anniversary, and it is a fantastic hit in town. When you walk in, it's a who's who of the city. You could
Oh, wow.
run into the mayor at Auburn Bagels Company. It's really one of the local roosts that everybody who is frequent of downtown is familiar with.
Well, don't you also have like an arts alliance or an art venue that also brings in the culinary arts too, with coffees and things like that?
Perhaps, yes. In King Ferry, New York, we have a place called the Northville Arts Center.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, a husband and wife duo own it. They're both chefs, and my favorite menu item there is the quiche. I've always loved quiche, but this is like a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother
Oh,
thing. Yeah,
does it
wonderful
have
experience.
bacon or ham in it?
Oh, absolutely. They
Oh,
usually have
okay.
a vegetarian option
Cool.
and an option with bacon and ham.
Okay. So quiche, that's the thing. And
That's the main thing, but they serve so many different types of breads and pastries there and
mm,
other great dishes. Like you mentioned, they have wonderful craft coffees there for offer too.
don't you have a roasting company as well?
Yeah, we have a few different roasting
Oh,
companies here. Yeah. None, I think that they more do distribute and they don't have as much of a storefront.
okay, but that's still cool that
Very,
you probably get
very
it
much.
in the local shops and things like that. But
Yes.
also a diner, so there's also diner food, a classic American thing.
Oh,
It's a
absolutely. We have two diners that I think really are like the yin and yang of each other. One of them is Dugan's Country Grill. It is a place where you go in and you're going to be greeted with local farmers having lunch or breakfast. Cayuga County is the number one agricultural county in New York State. So
oh,
we really have some large farms here. We produce quite a bit of milk and dairy. The thing about Dugan's Country Grill that's really interesting is the chef, Mike Dugan, is a Culinary Institute of America trained chef who cut his teeth at the Ritz-Carlton in California,
oh.
worked in Boston, worked in Chicago. He is a premier and elite chef that decided to do the country comfort food thing, and he does it really well.
Oh man, that is cool. That
Yeah.
is because it's like good, like it's if you're having a burger, it's like for reals good. Like,
Yeah, I take guests there that they've only been in the county for maybe a day or 2 days. And, we arrive and, you're going to get mooed at when you walk towards the diner because it's right in the center of like pasture country and there are some cows nearby. It is really right around the farms, but, and they're like, what kind of place is this? But, once the food comes out, it speaks for itself. Delicious.
well, being mooed at too is a good thing. But now, so do you have anybody working with local dairy? Like, do you have cheesemongers or like anybody doing goat cheese? Sorry, I know that's a thing. I keep thinking goats. Like when you talk about farm, I think goats, and then I think goat cheese. You
Yes,
know,
we do have a
ice
lot of local
cream.
cheeses here produced in Cayuga County, and our neighboring Seneca County also
Uh-huh.
produces a lot of cheese. We have a really famous dairy called Reese's Dairy Bar, which they serve ice cream, locally sourced dairy from them. Yeah.
This is why I could not be vegan.
Yeah, me neither.
There's cheese.
I
There's
don't.
cheese.
I've never even tried. I just
I
know
tried. I tried it once, and the closest I could get to anything remotely cheese-like. I know that there's the other kind of vegan cheeses, but was lemon pepper. That's all I kept putting lemon pepper on everything, and
Oh,
then I was just like, get over it. I want my cheese.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. I dive bombed into a carrot cake. Like literally there was cake and I knew there were eggs in it. I'm like, everybody move over. There's cake. And then from there on out, I was just like, I'm going to cheese now. It's a bad night. It
I
was a
can
really,
relate.
no, just sometimes you shouldn't be vegan. Some people should, and everybody's got their thing. But there, once I saw carrot cake, it was downhill. Speaking of that cake, where's cake? I want cake. I want
Oh
carrot cake
well,
now. Where are we gonna go?
I would say that at least a third of the offerings on the Sweet Treat Trail have some form of cake. Many of them carrot cakes. We have bakers all around the county.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, so
But
20,
speaking of the opposite of vegan, I a couple years ago when I first started in this position found my new favorite barbecue place,
oh,
which is a fireman themed barbecue called 1010 Barbecue in the little village of Moravia, New York, and it is now my favorite barbecue place.
mm.
It's owned and operated by fireman himself, and I think their slogan is "Smokier than a fireman's helmet."
So it's a true smokehouse then. Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
It's
I have a personal anecdote where my friend and I we won a chili contest because we were like, what is our end? What is our angle? We made our chili that, we always enter every year that we get third or fourth place with, but we went down to 1010 barbecue and got 3 pounds of brisket and put it in there, and that sealed the deal.
okay. So when is this Chili Fest thing? What's going on? This is a contest that happens every year?
Oh, this is just the contest in my hometown that we just have once a year. And the interesting thing
I
is,
think everyone should go to those kind of, community festivals because they're just too much fun. So you enter the chili contest every year. This is your thing?
yeah, every year my friend Chris and I try to place first, second, or third, but we always come up short because here's the thing: this is how authentic this chili contest is. It's run by firemen and it's rigged,
Oh,
so you pretty much have to be a fireman to win. So we like,
oh, but because you got the fire, I see how I
yeah,
see.
exactly.
Okay. Do you put beer in your chili? Because I know
Oh,
some people do.
absolutely.
You
Bill,
do.
beer.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
A little tiny bit of chocolate syrup too.
Oh, I haven't tried. I make a killer chili. That's why I'm
A
asking now. A
little
teeny
tiny
bit.
bit of peanut
Okay.
butter.
I could see that. Okay.
You can't detect it. It just sews
So,
everything else together.
okay. Cumin?
Absolutely, gotta have it.
Have to have cumin. There
Have
is
to
no
have it.
chili without. I put
Yeah.
curry powder in mine. Do you?
No, I don't think we did curry
Any
beer.
little bit with turmeric and cumin.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the cumin, it doesn't work.
Cumin on guacamole. Wow.
Yes. Okay. This is getting cruel. This is a rough day.
Yeah.
Guacamole, you have to. So I
Yeah.
make a dish because I, was raised in Africa and it is chapati. I do Indian and Mexican mixed with a little American. And you make your own chapatis. It's like a thick tortilla and you put your chili on that, but it's levels.
Ooh,
So you do like guacamole kind of salad, little bit of greenery. You need it
sure.
to balance it off. You put it and then you put that and then you put the meat, then you do beans separate. Like you can do them together or separate, depends, but
Okay.
and then all done in a crock pot. So it's low and slow.
Yeah. So there's
Then
layers here.
she
Gotcha.
layers, but with chapatis because there's you do them on a like if you can do them on a grill, like so it's like char cooked.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's thicker, so it's like a meat and a lot of cheese.
That's artistic.
And then we need beer. Now I need a beer. I've gone from wine to beer now.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of beer are we going? Like if it's the hops are coming from local sources, is it IPAs or is it a little bit of everything?
IPAs are probably the favorite. We do have a winter beer here called Hibernation, which is a combination of vacation and hibernation. And that's got a
That's
real like
cool.
maple syrup
Oh,
to it. Yeah, it's thick. It's a
mm,
nice thick beer with a good sweet finish. Um, the
Mm,
Probably the most popular beer out of Cayuga County is a beer called Mass Riot, which is made by Prison City Brewing. So
okay.
I went to the state fair last year and I went up to a tent that was just had craft beer. You know, you couldn't get a Budweiser, you couldn't get a Miller, you couldn't get any of those domestic beers. It was just local craft beers on tap.
Nice.
And, I knew I was going to have one or two. So I was like, all right, I'll start with the hometown favorite. And I said, you know what? I'll have a Mass Riot. And they said, sir, I'm sorry. That's the only one that's sold out. So I know it's doing well because
It's a
it's
good name
sold out
too.
at the state fair. Yeah.
Oh man, it's a perfect name. Do you have like Oktoberfests and things like that and like wine festivals when it's, celebrating the harvest with you being
Sure. Yeah.
agricultural too?
Prison City Brewing has two locations. They have one in the city proper that they call the pub and brewery.
Okay.
And then they have one that they call their farm property. So Prison City North. And they have a wonderful Oktoberfest there each
Mm.
year.
And I think everyone should start celebrating Oktoberfest in September when Oktoberfest truly happened, which it's
I
not in
just learned
October.
that.
Isn't
I
that
just
cool?
learned that.
That just gives us this access to start early.
Well, I said something. I said, well, geez, you think they could have it in October proper? And someone here in the office said, no, no, actually, Oktoberfest happened in late September.
Yeah, we get to start early
Yeah.
and go all the way through October. So,
Yeah.
what about wine festivals? Does that happen? Like, harvest and all of that?
Yeah, we have each place has their own kind of post-harvest gathering that they do, but we don't really have an overarching wine festival for the
Okay.
county, which Lisa, you just gave me a great idea.
Ah, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah,
Well,
bring them together.
how far are you from major cities for people to access the county?
Okay, so
Cayuga.
upstate New York, the Finger Lakes area is a little bit off to the west. When you look at upstate New York, central New York, the Finger Lakes where we are is a little bit west of that.
Mm,
And Cayuga County, where we are, is pretty much halfway between Syracuse, New York, and
mhm.
Rochester, New York.
Okay.
Syracuse being to the east, Rochester to the west. And
Okay.
just to the south is a town many people are familiar with, Ithaca, New York, where Cornell College is.
Oh, so close to college. That's always good for beer drinking. Anyway,
Yeah.
going back to that again. One thing we didn't touch on, so we've got the meat, right? You got beef in the area. You've got
Oh, yeah,
barbecue. Okay.
absolutely.
We've talked wine, beer. We got all the sweet treats we want. We've got cheese, we've got ice cream, we've got baked goods, we got diner food, we got gourmet, locally roasted coffee. Am I getting
Mhm.
this? So basically, bagels,
Yes.
farm to table fare.
Yeah.
What about, because you do have lakes, is there anybody focusing on fish?
Actually, there isn't. There
Oh,
is a very popular town that is just outside the border of Cayuga County called Skaneateles, New York, which is on the northern tip of one of the Finger Lakes, Skaneateles Lake. And there is a absolute miracle story of a restaurant there called Doug's Fish Fry, where they serve a fried fish sandwich that is, in the summer, there's a line around the block every single
wow.
year. Ever since I was a little kid, growing up, every summer, no fail, there's a summer crowd at peak season where, yeah, come dinner time, it doesn't have to be a Friday, there is a line around the block.
Now, do people go fishing in your area as part of
Yeah.
their things to do?
Yes, absolutely. There's wonderful fishing here. Like I mentioned, there's fishing, freshwater fishing here on the Finger Lakes, but also there's deeper freshwater up in Lake Ontario, on Lake Ontario.
Okay.
So, and we've hosted national bass tournaments here. There's great fishing in the Finger Lakes region.
So do you have lodging that is for people who like to go fishing? Because sometimes they want to cook it that same day. So like maybe, vacation rentals, or there's like fish camps another place. I have no clue about all that, but I'm asking for the
Yes.
audience.
Yes, lots of vacation rentals that are right near the water, and then guide services like a very famous
Oh,
one that we have here called Frontenac Fowlers. They will take you out on the water and just great fishing guides. many great charters and guides up on Lake Ontario too, where you're going to be
Okay.
with a great captain. He's going to take you to the fish and you're going to land some whoppers.
So there you have it, everyone. So a fishing escape, right? For people.
Absolutely. It's a great fishing destination.
I think, road trippers are, I know road tripping is expanding, so
Oh,
especially
sure.
with people going, I mean, because gas prices, as we know, are a little wonky, right?
Yeah.
But what are the main places that people would come drive through to you locally? Like, like I know, would it all
Uh,
be New York State or Pennsylvania is not far from you, as I recall.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is not far. We get a lot of visitors that drive up from Pennsylvania because it's an easy day trip, casual
Okay.
visit, travels very straightforward. And we get a lot of people from the Philadelphia area that come up here from Pennsylvania. Um, I would say some of the great destinations here, like just beautiful sights and experiences on the very north of the county, at the very north of the county on Lake Ontario. We have a beautiful golden sand beach called Fairhaven State
Mm,
Park. It's
okay.
yeah, I went there as a kid. My parents would take my sister and I there when we were little kids. So amazing that the first time when I was a little older that I first went to the ocean proper, I was disappointed because Fairhaven Beach is more of like the cliche, like classic what you imagine a beautiful sandy ocean beach is like, but it's freshwater.
Wow. I forgot when I was out on Lake Erie, I forgot that it was not the ocean because you have
Right.
seagulls, and so I was like, if there's a seagull, it must be, I know better, but it just,
And yeah, and you look out across the water and you can't see the other opposite shore. Yeah, sure, it might as well be the
and,
ocean.
and I was out on a boat and it was even still, but at the same time, like the towns are kind of like you're at the beach. It's like these coastal kind of vibe. Like, do you have that too? And it just like, flip-flops,
Absolutely.
kind of relax, get an ice
Yes.
cream cone. I'm bringing in the ice cream again. See, do you have candy
So
shops? Uh-oh, sorry.
oh, yes, we do. And one of those places where you're going to find all those things is Fairhaven, New York, which is the northernmost part of our county, as I mentioned. And Fairhaven, New York is located, it's wrapped around this large bay called Little Sodus Bay. It's called Little Sodus Bay, but it's a big bay. And it is an inlet that leads right out to Lake Ontario proper. And it's a beautiful, idyllic summer vacation town.
Mm.
It's kind of got Cape Cod vibes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lighthouses?
Yes, they have a lighthouse right at the entry of the bay.
Well, then everyone must go. There's a lighthouse, one must go. It's a
Yeah.
thing. It is. It's
And they have
iconic.
a
Yeah.
great winery there too on the bay called Coloca Estate Winery, which is owned by a gentleman named Dr. Coloca, who is a wine expert and very award-winning winery.
Mm. And candy shops?
Yeah, right in the downtown of Fairhaven, there's a place called Hardware Cafe that kind of
Oh,
has that classic 50s, like, soda shop, candy store
oh,
kind
that's
of vibe,
cool.
yeah.
Don't you love going in those? And if you can find candy from our eras, like going
Yeah,
back as kids, because
sure.
now it's like it's not the same. It's just not the same. You can't go to a
Yeah,
grocery store and get your candy. We were in
yeah,
a like a general store the other day, just like
yeah,
a proper general store
yeah,
with like Abba Zaba bars and you know just
yeah.
all kinds of goodies that you just don't see anymore.
When I was a child, my oldest relative was, I think he was actually the surviving person from my great-grandparents' generation. My uncle Julius, and his thing was he loved sour balls,
Oh
which were one
yeah.
of those classic early century,
Mm.
candies,
Oh,
and, yeah, he always had a big jar of them right next to his, sofa, and, it was the first thing on my mind as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old showing up to
like
visit my aunt and uncle.
let's go get those sour balls. Like remember
Yeah,
Jawbreakers? That I
sure.
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. We used to have contests with those. Like
yeah,
crazy. That's
yeah,
it's fun. And people gotta go have fun. Food
yeah.
is fun. So 27 stops on the Sweet Treat Trail. My
26, 26.
26. Well, I just added
So,
another one, so someone has to open up something.
I mean, that's pretty much the rate it's going right now because last year it was 20 stops and we added 6 this year, so it's
Wow.
expanding, yeah.
So then there's the wineries, the breweries. And then all the farm to table, but then like diners, and do you have steakhouses and things like that too? Where they kind of go
In
in,
place of the
merge with the,
steakhouse, we have a very authentic Italian restaurant. It's
oh,
probably
cool.
the most outside of Brooklyn. It's the most authentic Italian place I've ever been. It's
Wow,
called Osteria Salina. Much of the staff is from Italy, and you're
cool.
going to get the most authentic
Mm.
pasta and Italian dishes there.
Okay, what about pizza? That's the food
Pizza.
of the
So
gods. Like
I'm glad
chili's up here, but like pizza.
I'm
eh,
glad you brought it up. Right in the middle of downtown Auburn, we have a local absolute favorite. Someone in the office was here at the tourism office. There was a tour of kids, and they actually got a couple pizzas from Angelo's Pizza, which is that classic thin crust Neapolitan style
mm.
pizza. This place is so popular. They've been in operation since 1960 in the same location.
Oh, wow. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
So we got the pizza, we got chili. Good,
Yeah.
important thing. There's
Yeah.
one other thing that is just really important. Well, for me personally,
Okay.
good Mexican food. Is that possible in your
Cinco
area?
de Mayo
Yeah, we
coming
are
right up.
recording this on Cinco de Mayo.
Exactly. So, it's funny you mentioned that because just last week, on a Friday, we had a non-typical day for the tourism office where we were, collecting some of our print material, magazines and brochures and stuff for the upcoming summer. And, afterwards, we kinda, dusted our clothes off and, said, "Let's go out to lunch." And we went to this great place called, Costa Grande, which is
Mm.
a totally authentic Mexican food stop here in Auburn, New York.
With
It's
real guacamole, because this is
real
that's the
guacamole,
thing. And if it's
and
that other frozen green stuff,
it's
then no, no.
family owned,
Okay,
Mexican family. It's
perfect.
it's as authentic as I've ever had,
Mm.
as far as Mexican goes. We were overjoyed with lunch, and we couldn't shut up about it all the way to Monday. So
Because there's something about Mexican food that it just hits every spot, you know.
yeah,
It's like pizza, you know, good. So you have a lot of food, a lot of wine, beer, and spirits. Don't forget about that, you know.
yeah.
So and the sweet treat. So with the sweet treat, that's going to be fun for families to do together to go on that trail.
Absolutely. It's really, kid friendly. That's probably about half the people who are experiencing the itinerary proper, where you go from stop to stop, are parents with kids. It's
Mm.
it's really a fun time.
We all wanted those necklaces with candy on them
Yeah,
that we'd try to eat our, our necklace.
sure.
I'm sorry, but I've reverted to childhood now. I do thinking of that. What about picnics? Where can
Oh,
we go for a good picnic and get a good sandwich to take? Well, obviously, you got wine, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the best picnic location, I gotta split it between two spots because I know they're both equally as great, but I do have a personal favorite, and that's Fillmore Glen State Park, which is in Moravia. And it's this beautiful Stone Gorge Glen where you're going to see almost a dozen waterfalls on a trail that goes through the gorge. But at the mouth of the gorge, where you arrive, like the entrance to the park, is just there's a swimming area and picnic tables and lots of open
Mm.
fields. And this was actually the location of the farm that our president, Millard Fillmore, that's where he grew up.
Oh, wow.
So they have I don't know if it must be a replica, but it's old in its own right, of the cabin that he grew up right there, and right there. And, I gotta say, for fall foliage in
Mm.
upstate New York, I think it is the best location to do, the leaf peeping thing, because the gorge creates these microclimates where you're getting a full spectral range of every single color of leaf you could
Ah,
possibly imagine, all within one frame. It's really interesting,
with
and
wine and picnic. Just
with
hide your
wine and
wine.
picnics, yeah.
Just hide your wine from the
That
park
that
rangers.
is the
Don't tell them.
picnic spot.
Oh,
Then we have Great Lake parks. We have
oh,
Owasco Park, yeah, which is right on the northern tip of Owasco Lake. And then we up in the northern section of the county, we have a place called the Sterling Nature Center, which has
mm,
just, dozens of nature trails and places to do picnicking and bird watching. It's an awesome nature center.
cool. Picnic spots are like that's the beauty of summer, right? And in spring, end of spring through early fall. that is like the best thing is having
I'm
a
looking
good
forward
picnic.
to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, I need out now. Okay, now
Yeah.
I've got one final question.
Sure.
You're not gonna like me for this, but I'm gonna ask you this because I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
If Anthony Bourdain was still here, right? I think
Okay.
he's here in spirit, right? And you were to take him around Cayuga County,
Yeah.
what would be the must things that you would put on his itinerary?
Geez.
I
Well,
see, I know. See, that was terrible.
no, it's terrible, but you're getting right to the point. I would say, honestly, it would be there's another farm to table location here in Cayuga County called Elderberry Pond, or I believe it's called the restaurant at Elderberry Pond.
Okay.
It's fine dining. And again, you're eating in an old farmhouse right on
Oh,
100-acre farm. Absolutely delicious.
wow.
When we have press trips and I want to impress a food writer here in the county, that is the first night is Elderberry Pond.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. Because I know he wants things to be local, you know.
Yeah. But he's also the kind of guy that would really love Dugan's Country Grill, the place I mentioned earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about the passion and the people. That
Yeah.
that's why I say there's always the food. It's great to eat the great food, but what's the story behind it? Who are the people serving it and making it
Yes.
and growing everything and raising things, you know, that's the because yeah, Bourdain would get down and dirty too,
Yeah.
easily.
Here in Cuba County, the person making the food is often the person telling the story.
Hmm. That's awesome. So I know our food, wine, travel writer friends are going to love it, but our audience too. I mean, because you know, it's kind of like, you know, with social media, you know, travelers have become their own, you know, writers in a way, storytellers, I should say,
Sure.
by with social media and like just kind of going, look, I was here and you weren't, nanny, 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 you know. So that is like a little contest out there in the world. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. It's been fun. It's been fun talking food, wine, beer. Oh my gosh, a little bit of everything. And if we get up there, chili cook-off. Well,
Definitely. I will be your host. Thank you, Lisa, and
thank
thanks for
you.
having me on Big Blend.
Everyone at tourcayuga.com. But Noah, why don't you tell everyone the website so they can hear how it's pronounced properly?
Sure. It's just two words, Tour Cayuga.
So I wasn't that far. I wasn't
No,
that
you
far.
you you nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio's Food, Wine, and Travel Show featuring members of the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association. We encourage you to visit their website. We say IFWTWA, which is IFWTWA.org. You can also follow us at bigblendradio.com. Happy travels, everyone!